Imagine waking up and realizing you've already been buried. No light, no air, just darkness, and the sound of your own heartbeat. It sounds like a nightmare, but in the 1800s, it actually happened. Back then, doctors didn't have modern tools. No heart monitors, no brain scans, no reliable way to confirm death. So sometimes they got it wrong. A person would fall unconscious, their breathing faint, pulse weak, and they'd be declared dead, buried, mourned, forgotten, until hours later, they woke up. Old coffins had been found with scratch marks inside the lid, nails clawed down to the bone, wood splintered from the inside out, proof that someone tried to escape. The horror spread fast. People started whispering, "What if I'm next?" Families became terrified of burying someone too soon. And that's when inventors came up with a strange idea, one that would change the design of coffins forever. They called it the safety coffin. The safety coffin was simple and genius. A small metal bell sat above the grave. A string ran from that bell, down through the soil, and into the coffin below. Inside, the string was tied to the person's hand. So if they woke up underground, trapped, buried, and gasping for air, they could pull. And above ground, the bell would ring. That's why they called it Saved by the Bell. It wasn't just a phrase, it was a real design born from fear. Gravekeepers were told to listen. If a bell rang in the night, it meant someone had come back from the dead. Some cemeteries even hired guards, people whose job was to sit among the graves and wait. Most bells never rang, but just knowing they could gave families peace of mind. Because in an age before modern medicine, the line between life and death was terrifyingly thin. A single breath, a single heartbeat. A single ring away from being buried alive. Most people think the phrase, "saved by the bell," came from those graveyard bells. But here's the twist. It actually didn't. The expression became popular decades later in the world of boxing. When a fighter was about to lose and the bell ended the round, he was literally saved by the bell. But the graveyard connection, that came from fear, it was a myth that felt too real to ignore. Because people did build safety coffins. They did tie strings to bells, and they did fear waking up underground. In some cemeteries, you can still find old iron tubes sticking out of graves, the last traces of those designs. Some even had small windows in the lid, to let light in or to check for movement below. It sounds absurd today, but for people in the 19th century, it was deadly serious. They didn't trust doctors, they trusted the bell. And maybe that's the real meaning behind it, not boxing, not idiom, but survival. Because back then, being saved by the bell could literally mean being saved from the grave.